How can artists make money without resorting to Rule 34? Are you annoyed by how prevalent Rule 34 is in the art field? Are you frustrated by the necessity to resort to selling sex if you, as an artist, desire to live and thrive on your passion for drawing? If so, then you're in the right place, because I'm going to be discussing an alternative to besmirching your precious canvas with the naughty bits of your chosen subjects. However, let me warn you, as my mild sarcasm may have already spoiled for you, I'm in no way opposed to drawing Rule 34. I'd even go as far as to say that Jesus made me for it. No joke, but that's a topic for another day. And for those who don't know what Rule 34 is, it's one of the many rules of the internet, probably the most popular one, which states, quote, "If it exists, there is porn of it, no exceptions." Now, while that is a meme, Rule 34 is basically the shortest route to making money as an artist, especially online. If you can draw a Disney princess in a sensual way, a way that makes people want to touch themselves, you will have money thrown at you. Therefore, if it seems like literally everywhere you turn there is hentai or adult artwork being promoted, it's because it's solving two key marketplace problems. One, it's getting people paid. And two, it's getting people off. And what a coincidence. We as humans also have two main problems which never go away. One, our need to survive, and two, our need to be loved. Maybe you're seeing the connection. These two problems make the world go round. In fact, it's from these two problems that we arrive at the four major markets: health, wealth, relationships, happiness. Any product, service, or business you will ever come across will fall into one of these four categories. These four categories, by the way, are also the pillars for the good life. As long as these four areas of your life, health, wealth, relationships, happiness, are intact and on a rock-solid foundation, you're doing mighty well for yourself. Because if even one of those pillars is unaccounted for, you will be suffering as a human. And as I said, those four categories are derived from our two main human problems, or our desires. Our desire to survive and our desire to be loved. This essentially means if you're an artist and you're not selling sex, you are selfish. Because the marketplace is always right about what the marketplace wants. And when you try to give the marketplace something you think or even know it needs instead of something it wants, you're going about this whole business thing the wrong way, ass backwards, like swimming against the tide. You have to give the marketplace what it needs by giving the marketplace what it wants. So, think about this. You have needs, and we've been over them. You need to survive, and you need to be loved, which means you need money, which means you need the marketplace because money doesn't rain from the sky, which means you need to give the marketplace what it wants, not what it needs, which means the more tits and ass you throw at the marketplace with your trusty pencil, the more money the marketplace will throw back at you. Congrats, you successfully addressed your need for money as an artist. And while this may not be the most glamorous use of your skills, it is the most economic. However, let's say, for the sake of argument, you wanted to take the long route. Let's say you wanted to spend more of your time, more of your effort, and more sacrifice in exchange for less money by giving the marketplace something it barely wants compared to its strong desire for love and affection. Let's say you're absolutely insistent on feeding tofu and broccoli to a meat-eating lion that desires to hunt. What could you then offer the marketplace that it would willingly pay for? What could you draw to match the earning potential of the version of you who acknowledges the value in drawing adult content for the marketplace? Well, to arrive at that answer, we'll need to look at another portion of the human problems equation. If Rule 34 is catering to our human desire to be loved by depicting the tangible culmination of affectionate relationships, then that will leave you with artwork which relies mainly on the happiness pillar. I mean, unless you're making an absolute killing off of medical or financial illustrations. Thus, an artist's work will have to consistently strike a marketplace chord such that it amounts to, or at least rivals, the pain-killing value found in Rule 34 art. And that will be no cakewalk, my friend. But if you're going to pull it off, you're going to have to go all in on building yourself into a brand. In essence, the alternative to selling sex as an artist is selling yourself. Here's why that is. We as humans don't buy from people we don't know, people we don't like, or people we don't trust. The exception here is pain. When you're in pain, you don't care who gives you the painkiller. For instance, Rule 34. The extent to which you find comfort in consuming adult content is the extent to which you will suffer after being cut off from it. And if that pain hits you hard enough, without an alternative to fill that void, you will willingly browse a shady website to find it. Only after you've gotten your hit, your fix, will you consider the source it came from. So pain is the difference maker, and anything less than a painkiller is a vitamin, which is what you're trying to sell to the marketplace. Art isn't a need, such as food, water, clothing, shelter. It's more of a luxury. Sure, you and me, we know our value. We know the worth of art because we harness the power to bridge imagination to reality. Literally anything you lay your eyes upon began with imagination. And that is power, absolutely. But it's less about us and what we know, and more about what the marketplace perceives as valuable. Perception is reality, and the perceived value of art is in the gutter. Unless you effectively tie it to fame, notoriety, or some other form of leverage that a commoner doesn't have immediate access to, you're struggling against the tide. So yeah, if you're an artist and you care less about what the marketplace wants than about what you insist on selling it, you are biting off more than most creative types are even willing to chew in the first place. Here's what I mean. Being a personality, the face of your art, and one that people gravitate to for reasons that go beyond the canvases you draw upon. In other words, this will describe your audience. They know you, which means you're consistently showing up on whichever platform you choose to set up shop. They like you, which means one of two things. A, your artistic ability supersedes the average, if not their own. Or B, you're sharing your polarizing thoughts, opinions, and viewpoints, not keeping them quiet in hopes of avoiding offense. You're sharing them, which repels all the wrong people, but hooks in all the right people. And they trust you, which means you consistently do what you say you will do. And all of these things, and more, will be necessary if your vitamin, your family-friendly artwork, is to make you enough money to live comfortably on. See, if you try to sell your vitamin to a marketplace that's hurting and wants a painkiller, without being willing to deliver on those aforementioned points, you'll fall into the middle ground, which looks something like this. You will make family-friendly art which won't sell because you're missing one or more parts of the know, like, trust equation. You'll burn out before making any kind of impact or effect on the marketplace. You will grow to resent having artistic talent in the first place. Maybe even resent God for giving you a gift and a passion which is so difficultly monetized because the marketplace can be personified as a spoiled brat who's kicking and screaming for cupcakes and candy instead of a well-balanced diet. And whatever work you do resort to for your steady paycheck, you won't enjoy it, even if it's printing you money, because it will be empty and devoid of purpose and passion. And since life can't be lived without working, you won't be enjoying your days above ground. Because remember those 4 pillars? You need health, you need wealth, you need relationships, but you also need to be happy. And way too much of your life will be spent working for you to not be enjoying that work. Avoid this by building your business in the marketplace and not in your own head or in your own heart. In fact, whenever you think about money, just begin to hear the word value. And whenever you hear the word value, think marketplace. This will make it easier for you in business or acquiring money going forward, especially as an artist. So there you have it. Those are your options as an artist looking to monetize an artistic ability. I will be sharing more of this in future videos.
Hey, listen, I'm the author of this content, and I wanted to pop on real quick just to say a couple of things. Firstly, about my credibility. 3 reasons why you should listen to me, and 3 reasons why you should absolutely ignore everything that came out of my mouth. Which 3 reasons should you weigh more heavily than the other 3 will depend upon your discernment. Let's start with why you should give me the time of day. The first $2,000 I ever made, I made online, in my pajamas, with this instrument right here, a stylus. As you can see, technically speaking, fundamentally speaking, my art is nothing special. Yet and still, I managed to exchange value with the marketplace, despite circumventing Rule 34. Imagine how much money I could have made had I leaned into it. 2, although I painted the idea of branding and marketing and advertising and promoting yourself in a less desirable light because of how demanding it can be for someone who just wants to put their head down and draw, I still recommend you do all of those things anyway. It's in your best interest. I totally understand not wanting to show your face, but I don't know how far that will take you. Still, even if you stop short of being a talking head, like I am right now, doing all the other stuff will grant you a greater return on your artistic investment. 3, which kind of wraps up points 1 and 2 together. Don't believe for a second that you need to be an amazing artist to make amazing amounts of money with drawing. As is common with many other fields, those who are good enough to do this at the highest level are not the ones bringing home the most amount of bacon. Just like with every other creative endeavor, you just have to be competent enough. Then flesh out the other areas that are conducive to business and taking advantage of financial opportunities, such as being personable, making yourself easier to find, and learning how to communicate effectively. The best artists are among the worst at these activities. I mean, think about it. Money comes from other people. And now for the 3 reasons why you should ignore everything that comes out of my mouth. I'm a better writer than I am a drawer. This I'm still getting better at. 2, I have yet to make my first $1 million. 3, in fact, I have yet to even pass the coveted $10,000 a month threshold. So maybe I'm just talking out of my ass with everything that I say. Who knows? Share this video with the most business savvy artist that you know and see what they have to say about it.